All right, welcome back to The Hill here on NewsNation. There was a bit of a surprise over the weekend as a group of conservative and more moderate Republicans brokered a deal among themselves that would avoid a government shutdown at the end of this month. It calls for reduced spending across most of government, along with money to fortify the border. As a result, the government would stay funded through October 31st, another month. But more than a dozen House Republicans are already saying they cannot support it. For example, Congresswoman Victoria Spartz even suggested it could cost the House Speaker Kevin McCarthy his job, writing in a statement today, quote, "The Republican House is failing the American people again and pursuing a path of gamesmanship and circus." And she called McCarthy, quote, "our weak speaker." Joining us now is the Congresswoman from Indiana, Victoria Spartz. Congresswoman, thank you for joining us here on the Hill. This deal that was brokered, could it cost Kevin McCarthy his job?
Well, let me explain you something. We'll do a lot of messaging, Bill, and it all sounds good to energize the base. But the only thing that will matter that this Congress will do is spending. And Speaker McCarthy failed us already 3 times on spending. He didn't deal effectively with our debt ceiling deal. We haven't had really reforms. We're still increasing amount of unauthorized spending. We can worry about all of these agencies, but if we keep giving money to DOJ and FBI, and not really put their feet to the fire, they don't care about our letters we sent, the 5-minute, bombastic speeches that we're going to do in committees. And then he's failing again. We're looking at the end of September, and we couldn't pass appropriations deal, and he promised a lot of conservatives to start for 2022 number, and he even haven't tried.
I'm not sure I hear an answer, though. Does it cost him his job?
It might. I think it might cost his job because at some point, you have to keep your promises. And if you're not willing to fight for we the people, maybe we have to have someone else trying to fight. But I haven't seen him trying to fight the fight and win for the people, not for large special interest group, but for the American people.
There's a little bit of a back and forth right now between you and the House Speaker. He obviously saw what you wrote earlier today, and he is quoted as saying the following in part, quote, "If Victoria, you, is concerned about fighting stronger, I wish she would run again and not quit." What would you say in your response?
Well, his wishes might come true. I'm not sure if he really wishes that. But, I'll be honest with you, I do need to regroup, because I think my party is failing the people. But maybe this fight needs to be won here, and I have to decide, because I feel if we are not going to save this republic, there is no one else who's going to be stand up for the people. And DC became so corrupt that everyone is afraid. And we should not be afraid, because we have too many people died for our freedoms, and I mean it. I have enormous appreciation for this country. I came from dictatorship. It breaks my heart that we have to fight the same battles now, but Republicans are not willing to stand up. It's sad, but I think we cannot give up. We cannot give in. We have to regroup. And, I'm not quitting. I'm not going to quit to fight for our country. I just need to decide where the battle has to be fought. And unfortunately, with this leadership, I don't think we can win unless we make some changes.
You say leadership. Will Donald Trump fix it?
Well, listen, he was willing to pick some battles, and at least he was willing to stand up for the people. It's very difficult to go against Washington, D.C. There are some things he probably could do better. There are some things that, he was not given enough time to deal with, and he got distracted with other things. But, if you think about it, from our leaders in the recent years, he was one of the few who actually was trying to do something that he promised. We go campaigning and say, we fight for the border, we fight for this, that, we'll fight for you. And we come here as business as usual, and people don't see the difference between Republicans and Democrats, and they're very frustrated with us, rightly so.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.